Good morning and thank you. I'm Joseph Munyambanza from the Democratic Republic of Congo. When I was a young kid, I liked three things: eating food, going to school, and playing with my friends. Unfortunately, when I was 6 years old, war came to my country and I left my village. I lost my home, but I was fortunate to run together with my parents and my siblings. But when we went to Uganda, where the refugee camp was located, where we lived, I hoped that maybe next year, I'm going home. But it reached 10 years when I was still in a refugee camp. In a refugee camp, life was very difficult. I couldn't get enough food. I couldn't have friends to play with because some of my friends had died because of war. And I couldn't really go to school because in a refugee camp of more than 30,000 people, we had only 2 primary schools and 1 secondary school. And so in a refugee camp, I would sit in a classroom with more than 150 children. Every day, I went back home and I saw how my mom was struggling to help us food. And once in a while, I spent 2 days without having food. Sometimes, when nothing to provide, I could ask my mom, when are we getting food again? And sometimes my mom could not have an answer, and it would encourage us, have hope, we're going to work hard, tomorrow we may get something to eat. When I reached the age of 7, my mom started taking me and my sister to help her in the garden with a promise that when we work hard in the garden, we're going to have food. And she could wake us up at 6 a.m., and then at 8, she would clean us and then send us to the nearby primary school in a refugee camp. And every time I felt life was really not promising. But my mom told us that work hard in school. When you get a good education, you can be a teacher, you can be anything you want, and then you can be part of the solution to the problems we are having. But in my family, one other person who helped us most was my elder sister, because she helped my mom to work in the farm, and at some point we could have like the greens to eat after they had farmed. And on the 7th year in a refugee camp, my sister passed away. And so it was a big blow to my mom, and more especially to us. And for the first time, I saw my mom failing to hide her tears. She cried, and after the first week, my mom was hospitalized because of pressure and many other complications in the body. And as a young person, I promised myself to work hard, to get good education, and to make sure I prevent the problems of suffering because of war, poverty, things like that. And so I took education serious. And when I was in school, I managed to complete primary school from refugee camp, and I was lucky to go to a secondary school away from refugee camp. And during my time in a secondary school, I started collaborating with other young people to come back in a community. That's when we started a youth organization which focuses on providing quality education to young people, provide skills to girls who never went to school, and to make sure every child in our program gets skills and gets quality education. We've been able to support about 400 children in primary school. Every year we support about 100 students in secondary school, and of recent we've worked with MasterCard to provide university education to our children. And every year about 45 girls who never went to school get training in skills like tailoring, leadership, farming, so that they can be able to earn income and get married when they want, but also be able to support their children. And I'm here to tell you that there is hope for young people. And together with my other colleagues, I hope that through providing education to children in refugee camps and in poor communities, we can inspire the big world to provide education, because today we still have more than 50 million children who are not in school, and it's all our responsibilities. Thank you so much.
Thank you.